poppin', gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. You guys can probably already tell that it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely gonna want to check this one out. So we're witnessing a massive war breaking out between President Donald Trump and tech billionaire Elon Musk after Elon took to Twitter just yesterday with some very choice words on President Donald Trump, guys, and I'm excited to get into it. So we're not straight into it. All I ask that you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, let's hop straight into it, folks. Check this one out. All right, you all. So this is initially how things kicked off. We had slight criticisms coming from Elon Musk on X on Donald Trump's one big beautiful bill. Elon tweeting out saying "Slim the beautiful bill for the win," and then things crescendoed into chaos with Elon Musk tweeting out saying that without me, Trump would have lost the election, Dems would control the House, and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. Such ingratitude. Wow. So Elon Musk, I mean, he was definitely played a huge role in Donald Trump getting into that seat of the White House, but to come out and say it on X, I don't know. This just does not seem right, but he does not stop there, folks. He then quoted a tweet saying, "Can I finally say that Trump's tariffs are super stupid?" Then Elon Musk quoted responding saying that Trump tariffs will cause a recession in the second half of this year. You guys got to hop in the comment section and let me know. Maybe Elon Musk is in on some things that we don't know. But Elon Musk saying that Trump's tariffs will start a recession later on this year. He doesn't stop there, though, guys. We had Donald Trump tweeting out, you know, Donald Trump's going to jab back. He's not going to allow Elon to get on Twitter and go off of him without him snapping back. Donald Trump tweeting out saying, well, this was on Truth Social. He posted saying the easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. Wow. And then we had Elon Musk quickly responding to his cancellation of his governmental contract, saying, in light of President's statement about the cancellation of my government contracts, SpaceX will begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately. Okay. And then it does not stop. There was a full back and forth engaged at this point. Elon goes full nuclear gloves off mode and tweets out time to drop the really big bomb. Says Donald Trump is inside the Epstein files. That's the real reason why they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. Oh my goodness. Then he replied to that tweet saying, mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. Oh, Elon Musk with some crazy implications or suggestions about Donald Trump. Then we had a Twitter user, Ian Miles Chong, tweeting out saying President Trump versus Elon. Who wins? My money is on Elon. Trump should be impeached and JD Vance should replace him. And then with that suggestion, Elon Musk quoted the tweet in response to this suggestion on Donald Trump's impeachment, saying yes, simply yes. Oh my. So things are getting very heated. We see all gloves are off. We're making accusations about Trump, which I don't know if those accusations are true. We've got a lot of sources saying that this is not correct. Elon Musk does not stop there, though. He then quotes another tweet with a confused face, AG tweeting out saying the relationship between Trump and Epstein is well established. Trump flew on Epstein's plane at least 7 times, though it is not clear he ever went to the island. Here's what Trump said about Epstein in a 2002 New York Magazine profile. It says Epstein likes to tell people that he's a loner, a man who's never touched alcohol or drugs, and one whose nightlife is far from energetic. And yet, if you talk to Donald Trump, a different Epstein emerges. I've known Jeff for 15 years, terrific guy. Trump booms from a speakerphone. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side, no doubt about it. Jeffrey enjoys his social life, quote unquote, end quote. Donald Trump said that, I'm guessing, back in 2002. I'm not sure if this was in a reference to trying to big up Jeffrey or what was going on there, but Elon Musk is pointing this out with a little question mark face, like, what's going on there, Donald Trump? And then he doesn't stop there. He takes it a step further, reposting and quoting another tweet in 1992, Trump partying with Jeff Epstein, and saying, just going to leave this here. Let's watch this brief clip.
Of a Mar-a-Lago party shows Trump giving Epstein his personal attention.
Donald! Donald! Donald!
The footage, shot in November of 1992, before Trump opened the resort as a club, shows the future president surrounded by cheerleaders for the Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins, capturing Trump's fun-loving bachelor lifestyle for an appearance on Faith Daniels' NBC talk show.
We're going to get great ratings in your show.
Trump is surrounded by women as music blares in the background. After a while, Trump goes to greet 3 new guests, among them the financier Jeffrey Epstein.
Come on in. Go inside.
More than a decade before his guilty plea on state prostitution charges. Later in the footage, Trump is seen talking to Epstein and another man as women are dancing in front of them. Trump alternates between dancing and pointing out women to Epstein and the other man and telling Epstein about the cameras. Though exactly what they say is difficult to understand as they discuss the women and their appearances, Trump gestures to one and appears to say to Epstein, "Look at her back there. She's hot." And then Trump says something else into Epstein's ear that makes him double over with laughter.
All right, you guys. So that's Elon Musk trying to point out some things about Donald Trump. But my question is, why would you sit inside of this guy's cabinet so long? Why would you endorse him and put so much money into his campaign if you knew something like this was going on behind the scenes, or you knew what type of person he was? I just believe this is one of those, you're in the heat of the moment, the battle, and all gloves are off, and you'll say anything to try to hurt that person's feelings. We've all had those fights before, and you say things that you probably regret. Then we got Charlie Kirk with a tweet on X saying, "Let me get this straight. Democrats tried to put Donald Trump in prison for 700 years, take his business empire from him, impeach him twice, take him off the ballot, and censor him on all social media, all the while they were sitting on the info that Trump was on the Epstein list. This is total and complete nonsense." And that's another one that really, stuck with me. I don't feel like the left, the mainstream media outlets, would have let this, go underneath the radar for that long. They would have that would have been the first thing coming to the table on why Donald Trump doesn't deserve that seat of presidency. He wouldn't have been elected in. They would have put that out. That would have been one of the first things on the top of the list. Then we have the former attorney of Jeffrey Epstein. This is David Schoen coming to the defense of Donald Trump, saying he was hired to lead Jeffrey Epstein's defense as his criminal defense lawyer 9 days before he died. He sought his advice for months before that, and he could say authoritatively, unequivocally, and definitely that he had no information to hurt President Trump, and he specifically asked him. So that kind of debunks the claims, and it goes back to what I pointed out earlier in the video. I mean, when you're hurt people, and I feel like Elon Musk was hurt in a sense. He didn't know how else to get it off his chest. We already know the responses and the reaction to this were uncanny. We're going to get into that. We got White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt on the table. We've got Jasmine Crockett, Representative Ratchet. She couldn't keep her nose out of this. And then we got Donald Trump's reaction. Let's get straight into it.
There's a part of me, I grew up playing hockey, and there wasn't a single day that we played hockey or basketball or football or baseball, whatever we were playing, where we didn't fight. And then we'd fight, then we'd become friends again. When you're dealing with two very powerful men, and less than a week ago, they were, best friends, got personal very quick. But really, what we're dealing with here, from my point of view, is just a major policy difference, which they acknowledged in that very friendly press conference.
That's right, Sean. And tonight, the president's focus and the focus of the entire White House remains on passing the one big, beautiful bill. And as your audience just saw on Friday, just days ago, the president graciously hosted Elon Musk in the Oval Office, and Elon thanked the president for his incredible leadership to cut waste, fraud, and abuse in our government, which this one big, beautiful bill does. So the only difference between Friday and today is Elon went back to his companies, and as a businessman, he has a right to speak for his companies. But as President Trump has a responsibility to fight for this country. And the one big beautiful bill is the most historic piece of legislation that has moved through Capitol Hill in modern day history. Not only does this bill provide the largest tax cut for middle class and working class families, it extends the Trump tax cuts in 2017. It also delivers on President Trump's key campaign promises that he went around the country and spoke to voters across across the country about, to huge applause. No tax on tips for our service workers, no tax on overtime for our law enforcement officers who are putting in extra work, having details to put food on the table. The Fraternal Order of the Police was at the White House today endorsing this piece of legislation specifically because of the no tax on overtime provision. This bill also effectively eliminates a tax on Social Security for our hardworking seniors. And not only that, it provides huge savings for the American taxpayers. $1.6 trillion in savings. We can't solve our nation's decades-old debt crisis overnight. President Trump is practical and realistic about that. But this bill is a huge, monumental step in the right direction. And it also provides critical funding for border security. It will hire more ICE and Border Patrol agents across the country, which we desperately need to carry out the mass deportation effort that is underway. And this bill also provides critical infrastructure for our national security and funding for the Golden Dome, which is another signature campaign promise of President Trump's.
And I'm on board right now. You know, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt has been so transparent up to this point. I'm going to believe her on this. Donald Trump definitely sees there is a problem with the spending within our federal government, but he has to be realistic with the situation and say it's not going to happen. We're not going to fix this deficit we're in overnight. It's not going to happen like that. We have to give it some time. Whereas Elon Musk is like, we need to start making drastic steps right now. I could see both points or both sides of the situation, but we have to trust and believe the man that we actually voted and elected into that office, which is Donald Trump, not Elon Musk. But you already know, guys, as I promised, Representative Ratchet, aka Jasmine Crockett, had a lot to say about Elon Musk. Now she's in favor. Now she's on the side of Elon Musk. Remember when she was just preaching about Tesla takedown day and how heinous, how evil Elon Musk is? Well, guess what? Now she's back on his side because he's going against Donald Trump, further proving our point that it's nothing to do with actual politics. It's everything to do with their hatred, their dislike for Donald Trump. Check it out.
It is interesting that we're talking about bypassing Congress. It seems like that's all that has happened, actually, this Congress. In fact, it's why we've had to spend so much time in courts. And thank God that we at least have one branch of government that has decided not to abdicate their duties and has decided that there are things such as, impoundment. And so when Congress does make a decision or does sign something into law or has been signed into law by a president, that you can't just bring in your good little friend who helped you get elected to the tune of $300 billion or $300 million and say, hey, guy, you get to do whatever you want to, despite what these duly elected people have done. But I digress. But I am going to get back to Elon, because Elon is looming over every single Doge hearing. You know why? Because that's supposedly what Elon was heading up. But now they don't want to talk about Elon, because Elon now is a little upset. There's a family spat that's obviously going on, and it is going to play out, it seems like, all over Twitter. But nevertheless, let's talk about some of the things that we should be talking about. And you know what? Every time I come in here, I really do wonder, what is the point? Like, why are we here? Because it doesn't seem like we're doing efficiency, right? Like, have we seen Elon? No. Have we seen anybody that works for Doge? No. But we're in the Doge subcommittee and we're talking to everybody but the Doge people. So to hear the comments about Stacey Abrams, it really got me going. And a lot of times when we come into this hearing room, it's all about politics. And it made me think that there was an issue most likely with Stacey, because someone actually brought up the fact that Stacey has run for governor a couple of times. And it seems like there's a gubernatorial race that's coming up in Georgia, and nobody knows whether or not Stacey is going to run. So why not muddy the water if we can, to hopefully keep a strong black woman down? But again, I digress. So let's talk about the things that we could be talking about while we sit here in the Doge committee. It seems like we could be talking about things like efficiency or oversight.
And once again, that Representative Ratchet, aka Jasmine Crockett, bringing race and gender into every case and claim she makes. It's truly sickening, especially when we've seen Stacey Abrams being audited by Doge for the $2 billion that her NGO was receiving for these affordable appliances, but yet no one got appliances. She was trying to smuggle, launder, embezzle $2 billion of our taxpayer dollars, and you're going to tell me that it's only because she's a black woman that folks came after her? Get out of here, Jasmine. But we're not going to stop here. We got President Donald Trump, of course, he weighed in on the whole Elon Musk feud and gave his side of the story. Let's check out what Trump had to say.
Thank you, Mr. President. The criticism that I've seen, and I'm sure you've seen, regarding Elon Musk and your big, beautiful bill, what's your reaction to that? Do you think it in any way hurts passage in the Senate, which, of course, what is you're seeking?
Well, look, I've always liked Elon, and it's always very surprised. You saw the words he had for me, and he hasn't said anything about me that's bad. I'd rather have him criticize me than the bill, because the bill is incredible. It's the biggest cut in the history of our country. We've never cut. It's about 1.6 trillion in cuts. It's the biggest tax cut. You would say, people's taxes will go way down, but it's the biggest tax cut in history. It's we are doing things in that bill that are unbelievable. And when you look at what we're doing for small businesses, for people, for middle-income people, all of the things that we're doing, nobody's ever seen anything like it. And, Elon's upset because we took the EV mandate, and, which was a lot of money for electric vehicles. And, they're having a hard time, the electric vehicles. And they want us to pay billions of dollars in subsidy. And, Elon knew this from the beginning. He knew it for a long time ago. That's been in there. That's been, I would say, JD, that hasn't changed. That's been right from the beginning. Mr. Secretary, that hasn't changed at all, right from the beginning. But I know that disturbed him. He wanted, and rightfully, he recommended somebody from, that he, I guess, knew very well. I'm sure he respected him, but to run NASA. And I didn't think it was appropriate. And he happened to be a Democrat, like totally Democrat. And I say, look, we won. We get certain privileges. And one of the privileges, we don't have to appoint a Democrat.
All right, so Donald Trump is speaking on the point and saying, hey, I won the election. The people voted me in. I get to pick, I get to choose, and I get to do what I would like to do with my seat. I can't fault Donald Trump for that at all. I mean, that's just being real, and that's just Donald Trump's nature. He's a straight shooter. He's not going to beat around the bush. He's going to frankly just let you know. So this is kind of a clarification for all those folks on the left that kept screaming that Elon Musk was the one running the seat of presidency. It wasn't Donald Trump, wasn't JD Vance. We can see it right now. That's not the case, which leaves us with the question of who is right? Is it Elon Musk? Is it Donald Trump? We got this. Oh my goodness. This poll has over 1.5 million votes. Wow. I would love to know. You guys got to definitely hop in the comment section. Let me know who's right in this situation and why. You'll see me popping in and out of the comments, letting you guys know my opinion. Honestly, I just feel like they both did such great work. That's why it's hard for me to be like, oh, I love Elon Musk raw. I'm picking Donald Trump and Elon can go somewhere. I just can't do that. And I can't bring myself to do it because both of these guys did such great work. Elon Musk being able to, fund Donald Trump, his mission, his agenda on that campaign trail, getting the word out there, using his platform to get the word out there. Donald Trump showing us that relentless fight, never back down, never give up, fight. I mean, I can't pick between the two. I think they both did such great work, and I want them to come to a meeting of minds. And speaking of that, there is actually a call scheduled. Not sure if it's for today or tomorrow, but Elon Musk and Donald Trump are supposed to get on the phone together and hopefully hash this thing out. I've got one clip that I'm going to end this off with. It's actually a comedy parody clip, but it's kind of a perspective into how that call might go. Let's check it out, and I'll end it there, guys. Definitely make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd enjoy more content like this, let's get into it.
Hello?
Seriously, dude, what the F?
Is this about Epstein?
No, I told you that in confidence.
Yeah, well, maybe you shouldn't.
I told you that. I thought we were besties. I really did.
Well, so did I, Donald.
Well, look.
But I wanted to cut spending.
That's uncalled
I wanted to
for.
cut spending, so.
I was going to take you to the island. I was going to take you. Remember that? I was going to take you there.
You were?
We were going to have a good time, and you ruined it. You botched it. You botched it so badly. So badly you botched it.
I just really wanted to make government efficient.
No, this is unforgivable that you would say that.
Well, you left me no choice, Donald.
This is like hose before bros level betrayal. That's
Well,
right.
I have a lot of those. So.
And I was going to give you hose. I was going to take you there. I still know where it is.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It's so wrong. It's so wrong.
Well, you left me no choice.
I let your little kid wipe boogers on my desk. You know that. In front of the press, I let him wipe little boogies, beautiful boogies, but I let him do it. I let him do it because I believed in our country. And I wanted you to be a part of that.
I know, but you screwed it up.
You botched it so badly. It's unbelievable.
I didn't botch it.
You know what?
botched it.
You don't have the cards right now. You don't have the cards. I'm going to go burn my Tesla. How do you like that? You like that?
Oh, you go for it. Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah.
I was never even there, and you know that. I was never there.
What, on Epstein's Island? Yes, you were.
We can ask Epstein himself. I'll call him. I'll call him right now.
Oh, really? How are you going to do that? He's dead.
Oh, you think he is?
Well, yeah.
Jeff.